Get ready to meet Sarah. Sarah is a 32-year-old epidemiologist and new mother living in Georgia.
So I'm Sarah. I'm like 32. I just had a baby about a year ago.
Sarah has a self-proclaimed frumpy wardrobe filled with ill-fitting clothing, drab colors, and things that just do not fit the awesomeness called Sarah.
In terms of personal style, and I feel like I just don't have any. I was looking at the anti-style types, and I'm definitely a boring Betty. Like my entire closet is the most boring stuff from Ann Taylor that you could find. So I need help.
The pandemic, motherhood, and her changing body have all contributed to her style struggles. Now the question is, will Sarah put in the work to overcome these style struggles?
Help, I don't know what I'm doing, and I have this postpartum body now that doesn't fit in the old stuff. I don't really have any new stuff that fits. I don't even really know what size I am anymore.
Or will she not do the work and remain a boring Betty, her anti-style type? Find out in this week's episode of the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. Welcome to the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. In this series, I chose 10 deserving women and I'm giving them a makeover using my book, Style Therapy, 30 Days to Your Signature Style. So each week, we're gonna follow one woman on her 30-day transformational journey. These women are gonna not only transform their outsides, they're gonna transform their insides too. This week, we are following Sarah on her 30-day style therapy journey. Let's take a look.
The reason why I wanted to do this is I'm coming from a position where I was a fellow at the CDC, and there wasn't a lot of pressure on me style-wise. But now I've transferred to a new job where I'm in private industry, and part of my performance review is going to be based on new business that I can bring to the company. And I've never had that kind of pressure before, and I know that I need to look the part, and I don't really know how. The book is here. It has arrived. Style Therapy, guys. Oh my God. It's really happening. I really did this. Your author photo is so cute. You're looking good, girl. Oh, she signed it. Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, Sarah is about to start week 1 of her style therapy journey. Week 1 is devoted to my signature 7-day selfie challenge. Real talk, people hate this challenge. They hate it at first, and then once it's over, they realize that it was the best thing that they could have done for themselves. In addition to taking the selfies every day, there are also journaling prompts, and we go deep during week 1. Week 1 can be a little bit ugly, but it is so necessary to set the stage for the transformation, and that means getting a little dark sometimes. So let's see how Sarah does during week 1.
Hi everyone. So today is my day 2. It's March 2nd. It's day 2 for me in the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. Yesterday we had our kickoff call with Lauren and it was so fun. I have enjoyed the first 2 days. There's 1 activity per day in Lauren's book. I think I'm going to be taking selfies every day. I'm trying my best not to look ahead because I want to do it one day at a time and really pace myself. But already I've learned some things that I didn't realize about myself. My son was born in November 2019 and I took 3 months off from maternity leave. We went on lockdown in the beginning of March, and so I was only going back to the office and out and about in my daily life for a couple of weeks. Also in that time, I moved. My husband and I closed on our first house. He's an essential worker and he goes out into the public every day. So because of the pandemic and out of an abundance of caution, we decided it would be best, because we only had a very small baby at that point and we were very scared. And so out of an abundance of caution, we decided that we would stay separate. We would quarantine from each other. So I moved in with our son and my mom so she could help me with him and help me take care of him while I was teleworking all day. And my husband moved into our house by himself. I finally moved and joined him in about, I want to say June-ish. As far as other things like accent furniture and all that fun stuff, I really haven't unpacked a lot of it. Even now, it's still not unpacked. That includes our full-length mirrors. That means I haven't seen myself in a full-length mirror since February 2020. I was so surprised when I looked at myself in a full-length mirror for the first time in over a year. I didn't realize how my clothes were looking on me and how my shape had changed, how things are fitting and hanging on my body now. I really didn't know. So today, when I did my selfie challenge for the makeover experience, following along, being guided by Lauren's new book, which is great, you should all get it. One of the things I noticed is my tops are not fitting the same way. Of course, I nursed my son. My boobs haven't returned to their normal size and shape, and they probably will never return to their same size and shape, and as a result, my tops are not fitting how I imagine them to fit in my mind's eye. Now, here's my gripe. Why are nursing bras so ill-fitting? I have a very unusual size. Even before pregnancy, I had a very small rib cage. It's still pretty small. I'm only 4'11". And if you've got any bosom, I sound like I'm 90 years old. If you have any bust to speak of and a small rib cage, your size is pretty hard to find.
Style didn't mean much to me. I was never the cool kid at school. I was never the cool kid around the research campuses that I interned or worked at. I wasn't the coolest teacher when I was teaching school, so I was never the cool one. Style was for cool people, and my strengths were all intellectual, and so it just wasn't something for me. Since discovering Lauren and her YouTube channel and reading her book especially, style means it's an embodiment of what you feel on the inside and what you're presenting to the world.
A la Lauren Messiah, we're gonna be having a hot beverage. Now, Lauren does tea time, but I like tea, but I'm a coffee addict, so this is coffee with Sarah Sharkey. The makeover experience so far has been a roller coaster. One day I'll be in tears doing the journal. The next day I'll be like so fired up and inspired. So let me just give you an overview of how that's been. There was a journal prompt called Go Deep, Go Dark. And basically it was asking, what's the worst case scenario if you did not do anything about your style? Like, what would happen in the end? What would be the consequence? I went real dark. I guess what I realized is like the fact that I'm not happy with the way that my style has been of late makes me feel like shit about myself. And when I feel like shit about myself, I'm not performing as well at work, at home, with my husband, with my kid. And if that is allowed to snowball and really get out of control, there are some scary things that could happen as a result. It was very emotional. It lit a fire under my butt, but it was very emotional to think about what that eventuality could look like in a worst case scenario. And that's not what I want for my life or for my family, and I need to do something about it. So the next day was kind of like the flip side. It was like, okay, now dream about the best things that could happen if you do take care of yourself and your style and do some personal growth work. And I mean, sky's the limit, guys. Sky's the limit. If I really take the bull by the horns and start taking more responsibility and more of an active role in how I feel about myself through style and through self-care, then the opposite will occur, right? I'll be outperforming my goals at work. I'll be outperforming what I hope to do for my son and my husband here at home with my family. I want to empower other women, specifically women who are of color, who are Black and brown, and help the next generation of professionals achieve what they want to achieve in my field.
It's week 2, and Sarah is headed into another challenging week inside of the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. Now, I know week 1 was a little tough with the selfies, but doing this work is going to set the stage for her big transformation. You gotta put in the work if you wanna get the results. So week 2 is devoted to clearing your path. Sarah is going to get rid of all of the mental blocks standing in her way. She is going to unload all of her style baggage, and she's gonna clear out her physical space by cleaning out her closet. So this week is tough, but it's very rewarding. Let's see how Sarah does.
This week, week 2, one of the prompts this week was like, write a eulogy for a piece of clothing in your closet that just needs to go. It's gotta bite the dust, man. Goodbye, floral Ann Taylor shirt dress from ThreadUp. I ogled the dress for months, adding it to my cart, deleting it from my cart. It was only $12. I was delighted when it arrived, enough to ignore the slight pull in the bust. A few weeks later, when I set up my full-length mirror, I was excited to see what it looked like. Now I could see it. It was more than just a slight pull. And the color wasn't doing me any favors. It needs to go. It hurts to say goodbye to a dress I fought so hard for, but it's time. Goodbye, shirt dress. This is the dress. Isn't that an awful color on me? I feel like it makes me look like I'm dead. It washes me out, no? Am I wrong? Either way, I mean, it pulls in the bust, so it's gotta go, right? If it doesn't fit, it's gotta go.
Okay, so clean out your closet. It says that we should be thinking about, not only does it fit and does it flatter, but also some questions I didn't think about. Does it support the overall vision for the woman I'm becoming? A lot of the things weren't supporting the person that I'm becoming. We're either like needed to get downgraded from wear while I'm working at home clothes to like straight up, these are pajamas. I shouldn't be wearing them, even if I'm sitting behind my computer working at home.
week 3, and we're finally about to have some fun around here. Week 1 and 2 were tough, but during week 3, Sarah is about to have herself a style awakening. We get creative in week 3. Sarah is going to discover her style type. She's going to go on a little virtual shopping spree. She's going to make vision boards. Like, this is creative time. This is where she's really going to start to develop her signature style. So I can't wait to see what her new style type is, since before she said she was the anti-style type of a boring Betty. So let's find out how she does.
Thinking about my style type, and Lauren's book, Style Therapy, is really, really good. Her channel is also amazing, her YouTube channel. But her book is really good at laying out a bunch of style types and describing them and helping you by browsing and learning more about each style type and the hallmarks of each type. And so for me, my style icon or icons were like Amal Clooney was my top style icon, is my top style icon. I love the way Amal Clooney dresses. Amal Clooney is George Clooney's wife. She is such a badass woman, a powerhouse. Meghan Markle, I love her style. I really like how she dresses for casual things. She's very chic, but in a low-key way. That got me on this whole royalty rabbit hole, and I ended up looking a lot at images of Princess Diana, and I really dig her style too. And you know what? That whole era of the 90s, late 80s is coming back a little bit. So I boiled my personal style down to about 60% tastefully timeless, 15% polished professional, about another 15% casual chic, about 5% edgy eclectic, and about another 5% tomboy, because I really like that play of masculine against feminine. I have dubbed it classically cool sophisticate. What do you think? I think that sounds pretty cool.
Sarah made it to week 4, your signature style. So during this week, Sarah is going to continue to have fun, right? The first 2 weeks, maybe not as fun. Second 2 weeks, oh, it's a freaking party. Sarah's gonna shop. She's going to put together outfits. She's gonna style. She's gonna accessorize. And she's really going to get to experience how good it feels to actually take care of yourself in this way, doing all of the inner work and the outer work. And we're gonna see Sarah's big after. So let's check it out.
While I have a brief moment to talk to a wider audience than I typically would, I kind of just wanted to say something about mental health. Mental health was a struggle in my early adolescence. I struggled with depression, and I did a lot of talk therapy throughout my teenage and early adult years, which was a great benefit to me. When I found out that I was pregnant with my son and I got myself an obstetrician provider, I made sure that I disclosed my history with mental health. Because of disclosing that history, my provider was able to suggest a way for me to mitigate the possibility of going through postpartum depression, because having a history of depression puts you at an increased risk for postpartum depression if you are to have a baby. And that suggested method was to go on Zoloft, the lowest prescription dose that's available, starting at around 8 months of gestation, and then continuing throughout the first year of the baby's life. And I took the suggestion, and I'm so glad I did. Being a parent is very challenging for everyone. It's so important to advocate for yourself and advocate for your own life balance and advocate for your mental health. And one way that I chose to do that was by applying to the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. And not only that, but I made a plan, and I told myself that even if I didn't make it into the Style Therapy Makeover Experience, that I would do something for myself, for my style. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate this opportunity. I appreciate all of you out there on the internet watching this and following along our journeys. And I wanted to say especially thank you to the community of women that I'm growing to know and really appreciate in this process of finding my style and making time for myself. So thank you, and be good to yourself. You're worth it.
The only person that knows I'm doing this is my husband, and I've been able then to see the reactions from people in my circle. So my mom said to me the other day, "Oh, you look nice and put together today. Are you going somewhere?" And I said, "No, I'm just making an effort now." And so she said, "Oh, for who?" And I said, "For myself." And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were making an effort for me. I have to look at you all day." I was like, "Thanks." My husband is so just still enthralled with me, even if I look like shit. So I'm very fortunate that it was compliments before when I was feeling like crap, and it's compliments now. I think that the only thing that he's noticed is that my attitude has changed. So my husband has definitely noticed the laundry is not in piles anymore, for example. It's put away as it should be. I'm just more on top of everything in our life, and I'm more willing to do things with him around the house. We're renovating right now. We bought a fixer-upper and we're doing it all ourselves. Nice. And on a weekend, after a long week at work and dressing in pajamas every day, the last thing I want to do is get out of bed on the weekend. So, ever since I've started to try and pay attention more to how I'm showing up in my life for myself and for my family, I'm like, get up and go. Let's work on the yard today. Let's work on the bathroom today. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is great.
Wow, what a journey. My hopes were high, but my expectations have been exceeded this month doing the Style Therapy Makeover Experience. I
have learned to love and hate this book. It's been very challenging at times, and it's also been extremely rewarding. I hate to be redundant, but it's very therapeutic. The Style Therapy book is very therapeutic. Lauren has done an outstanding job writing this book for us. And so many women out there, I see that this is going to be a positive change in their lives. It has been in mine in a very short period of time. Just in 4 weeks, I've seen a transformation inside more than out. I think that the biggest thing I'll take away from this is that I don't have to be afraid to wear the things that make me happy and that make me feel good. I've never had the confidence to wear the things that I'm most attracted to visually. I always felt the most beautiful and striking things are for the wall, like at an art gallery, for people with more money, or for people who frequent more social circles, people with a cooler attitude than me, people who are cooler than me. I've said before that I always thought style was for the cool kids, and I was never a cool kid. I still felt that style was for the cool people, the people with more money than me, the people with more interesting lives, the people who travel more, the people who are better than me. I think that what this has taught me is that I don't need to wait to be better to wear the things I like wearing. I can wear the things that I like wearing now. And if someone thinks that I can't pull it off, F them. That's the biggest thing I'm taking away from this, is that I can fearlessly walk into the world wearing the things that I like most and showing off the flamboyant parts of my personality and my aesthetic without regret, without hesitation. And that is so liberating. The other big thing I took away from this experience is that even if no one's looking at you, you have to look at yourself. And in this world of teleworking, it's worth it to put in the time and effort to look your best self. Even if it's a little lower key than you would wear to the office, I think that we should all still be getting dressed. And that is something that I will be doing from here on out. No more pajamas only in my wardrobe. Now I have things that actually fit me. Yeah, I can't believe we're at the end of the 30 days. It's crazy to think about. I mean, this book is full. It's to capacity, and I'm so happy and proud to be part of the first group of women that laid eyes on this. I admire those other ladies that did this journey with me, that went through this alongside me. They are some impressive women. And cheers to you, ladies, because you knocked it out of the park. I mean, I only hope that for some of the women in the group who are in later seasons of life than me, that I can grow to be just as amazing as you all are. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Wow, wow, wow. Sarah is a rock star. Sarah put in the work and she got the results. I would say the biggest thing that I took away from Sarah's transformation was the fact that life happens, and sometimes life happens so hard that you can lose your relationship with yourself. I know that I've gone through that. I know that clients have gone through that, but the way that Sarah really illustrated that for us was so powerful. You know, the fact that she hadn't looked at herself in a full-length mirror for over a year, it doesn't surprise me, but it still makes me sad. But I was really glad to see Sarah's vulnerability around mental health and how style really ties into that healing process, that journey back to self. And, you know, it's important, and it's important to talk about these things and be vulnerable and do whatever you need to do to get back to yourself. And I'm really proud of Sarah for committing to this work, not just with style therapy, but with everything else she's been doing to improve herself. So thank you, Sarah, for being such a positive example for so many women, professional women, women of color, new mothers. You are a style therapy hero. So thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to continuing to follow Sarah's transformation, because as part of her makeover experience, I gifted her with a 1-year membership into Style Confidence Collective. So she will be able to continue to work on her style and have the accountability from me and all of the other women. So Sarah, it's not over. Are you ready to begin your style journey? Pick up a copy of Style Therapy wherever books are sold and join us inside of Style Confidence Collective, my community of like-minded women who are up-leveling their style and their lives. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and tune in next week for another amazing episode of the Style Therapy Makeover Experience.